Here we see copywriter's Baldus beardus in his natural habitat. What we're about to witness is only seen once every 2 weeks or so. He sits there, waiting, praying for copy to come forth on to his page. Oh, look, it's happening. It's starting. We see the research bubbling up through his mind, into his brain center, and through his frontal cortex, coming out the page. You see it filling every fiber of his being as he bubbles away, and it comes into verbs, nouns, and adjectives. He writes, he begins, he starts the damn march to the end, which is copywriting, and here it comes. I think we're about to see it. The copy is coming forth here now. Quick, hide your children. It's coming. It's here. One question we commonly get asked on this show is, how do I practice copywriting? Like, yeah, it's fun to see the theory and watch the videos, but when it comes down to it, like, you guys tell me to practice. How do I do that? Well, we're going to tell you exactly how to do that, because in this video, we're going to reveal 4 ways that you can start practicing copywriting right now. Oh, hey, I didn't see you there. I'm sorry. I'm going to teach you about bullets. Bullets are a way to capture the attention and build intrigue in your audience. Now, if you don't know what a bullet is, well, here's a small montage. A bullet is simply any kind of bullet point or check mark or box that has some words next to it. But specifically in the world of copywriting, bullet means something quite specific. They're also commonly referred to as fascinations, and the whole point of them is to grab the attention and build intrigue in your readers. Let's say I want to sell you a course. Now, to be convinced that you got to buy a course, well, you really have to believe in what the subject matter is, because it's not like a hairnet or a sponge where it has quite a basic function and you know exactly what it's going to do. A course is selling to something quite a bit deeper. I need to make sure that in my copy, I've made you so super excited to get your hands on what is inside. I do that with bullets, because if I am building the intrigue of what is on the inside of my course, then you're going to be so insanely desperate to get your hands on it that you just have to buy it. We don't reveal everything in a bullet. The point of a bullet is not just to rattle off information. The point of a bullet is to make the reader thirst, to yearn for the thing that they don't yet have. And why are bullets so good for beginners to learn? Well, a bullet can teach you to do a lot of things. It can teach you how to grab attention, how to persuade, how to build intrigue, all things that are crucial to many, many facets of copy beyond just bullets themselves. Bullets force you to do all of that in a very compressed manner. You don't have to write a full sales page to practice good copywriting. You just need to write a bullet. And as long as you can identify what each part of that bullet is doing, or what the bullet is doing generally, then you're going to start learning more about how to write good copy. To best demonstrate bullets, I'm going to draw your attention to this. Now, this is the Screaming Eagle newsletter. It was published by Clayton Makepeace, who is a famous copywriter. And this edition in particular goes into the effectiveness of bullets, and more importantly, takes you through the different kinds of bullets, or most of them anyway. We're going to start with the how-to bullet, which is kind of just the classic bullet. So it's number one. By the way, I would recommend you go and find this online. I'm sure it's only a few Google searches away, because this is an incredible resource. The how-to bullet, number one, how to use the secrets of loading your body for maximum power. Traditional swings rob you of this potential power, while the triple coil swing actually increases it twofold. So let's just analyze what's going on in that bullet. First of all, it's starting off with how to, which is the whole point of the bullet, and it's calling out to something that you don't know about yet. The whole point of this is it's building intrigue based around something you know you want. You know you want your body to have maximum power. You know you want to get stronger. And you think, you feel in the inner recesses of your mind, there must be a reason you haven't yet done that. There must be something that you're missing. Well, this is highlighting that something you're missing. It's not giving you the secret right now, but it's saying to you that there are elements in the triple coil swing that need to be learned for you to master it. What's the triple coil swing? I don't know, but it seems like if I buy this book, this course, this whatever, I'm going to find out. That is super, super powerful. Now, a good way to practice writing bullets isn't just to start with how to and then let your mind wander. It's to break down a few instances of where the bullet is used. So, what is the copywriter doing after he says how to? What is she doing at the end of the bullet? How is she stoking more desire? As long as you can take a random product and take a bullet, then merge the two together with your template, that's a good way to practice copywriting. Now let's move to bullet 2 in the how-to section, and we'll talk about how to actually template it in the first place. So, how to make yourself safer than 89% of other car passengers, page 389. Love this bullet. So how do we go about templating it? Well, let's just read it out. How to, easy. Starts with how to. We understand that. Make yourself safer. Maybe that is calling out to something that I want. That is a desire that I have. That is a benefit. The whole point of this part of the bullet is it's calling out to something that I desire. It's the thing that I want. So here I might put how to and then brackets achieve desire. Moving on, it says than 89% of other car passengers. Well, what is that doing? It's comparing myself to the average, to other people. So I would draw some kind of contrast between how most people don't do this. So how to achieve desire, and then I might template in brackets, better than X. What is that last bit of the bullet doing? This is doing something so incredible. It's pointing out to a specific point in the course, in this case, it'll be a book, but in the product where you're going to learn this information. It makes it feel so much more real because you go, God, I just need to get to page 389. So I could buy this, open it up, flip to 389, and know exactly what this is talking about. Very, very strong. So there I might put reference specific chapter or page or video, something like that. That is how I would template a bullet. So all of a sudden we have how to achieve desire better than X, reference specific point. And that's just one bullet of like more than 20 of them. So if you want to see how bullets can be practiced and more importantly punched up and improved, go and check out this video where we did a very long stream all on critiquing bullets and how to template them and how best to write them. It's going to be very useful, especially if you're a newbie practicing for the first time.
One of my favorite ways to actually get started writing as a new copywriter is to produce what's called a spec or practice piece. Give yourself some sort of prompt. Where do you get a writing prompt? An easy thing that you can do is to go online, look at social media or look on the web, identify an ad, click on it, learn a little bit about the product that it's trying to sell, and then actually sit down and try to write a piece of copy about it. Now, there's a number of categories, we could call them, for types of copy that you can produce around a product. You could write a Facebook ad. You could write an email. You could write a landing page. You could write a very simple one-page lead or a headline complex. If you're having a really hard time, just sit down and start writing a couple headlines. The most important thing is to just get started. If you're looking at a blank page and you're feeling super intimidated, give yourself a very simple prompt and just get started. A lot of times, once you start getting in a rhythm, and then things kind of unlock and start flowing. But listen, if you are having a hard time, you're just getting started and you need a little bit of extra help, we put together a list of 20 writing prompts that will help you get started. You can download it as a Patreon member. Go ahead and click the link in the description if you want copy that's 20 writing prompts to get started on your first pieces of copy. But again, you don't need to. You can go out into the wild on the web, find an ad, find a piece of copy out there, and try to replicate it.
All right, so this exercise is called Rod's Emotional Copywriting Exercise of Victory. This is one thing I do to make sure that I am staying like sharp tonally and my writing is consistently emotional. First thing you do is write down a list of 5 emotions. Second, go to google.com and just type in a random word. Click the news tab and click the top news article you get. Next, pick a product that you want to write about. It can be anything. If you are focusing more on e-commerce, it can be e-commerce product. If you're thinking more about financial copywriting, it can be a made-up financial newsletter. Take an emotion from your emotions list, take that news article and whatever's happening in that, and write a piece of copy and use that as your angle to sell your product. I rate a masterclass that you can check out on patreon.com/thecopythatshow, or if you go to copythatshow.com, you can just get the masterclass there on idea generation. And you can actually watch us run this live, and people came up with hilarious headlines for all sorts of products, everything from using like the Wizard of Oz to sell toilet plungers to all sorts of other crazy stuff. Having to sell products through various emotional lenses and using news events that seemingly have nothing to do with the product will get you to think more creatively and expand your range of writing and make it much easier to write for whatever assignment your clients write.
So this final way to actually practice copywriting is going to be the most difficult, but honestly, it's one of the best ways to actually learn how to write great copy. I call this particular method of practicing the double Deutsch, after the copywriter David Deutsch. It's based on the logic of a quote from the physicist Richard Feynman, who once said that if you want to be a great physicist, the best thing that you could do is solve every single problem that physicists had solved up to that point. You, as a copywriter, can do the exact same thing, which is you can find a piece of copy and then try to think through the problems that the copywriter had to overcome. A lot of copywriters, when they're writing, don't think of actually writing copy as problem solving, but it really, really is. So here's how to actually do this particular writing exercise. You open up an ad that you like or you want to mimic or learn from or study. Read it 4 or 5 times. Really pay attention to the structure. Really pay attention to the words. Really be sensitive to how it's functioning as a piece of copy. Then what you're going to do is you're going to go through and you're going to create an outline just to sort of remind and refresh your memory of like what happens at one point. Like, this section, it introduces the credibility. This section, it introduces the mechanism. This section is the offer, yada, yada. Just put enough in an outline, single page outline, to sort of remind you of where you're supposed to be on the map. Based on that outline, you are going to try to rewrite the same ad from memory. I don't mean like rewrite the ad in your own words. No, I mean the actual ad, word for word, from memory, using only the outline as your guidepost. You are going to encounter points along the way in trying to successfully mimic and reproduce that ad where you get stuck, where you're just like, what do I do? What am I supposed to do? What is it supposed to say next? Go refer back to the original ad and really think, well, okay, the original writer had to solve this problem to get further ahead, had to transition away from this point to move. So look and see, how did that writer solve that problem? It could be there, or it could be that from memory, you might have veered off course at some point 2-3 pages back. Well, the solution there is either to correct yourself and get back on course, or to delete what you have and then get yourself back on track and go in the direction of the original writer. Along the way, you're going to realize that you can't mimic this perfectly. It's impossible. And that's part of the strength of this particular exercise, because you ultimately will learn how to write words that convey and communicate effectively the same things as a writer in a particular style or in a particular genre. And you're also going to learn how to think through the actual critical processes of writing a piece of copy. And you're going to learn it using something that already exists as a scaffold. If you're brand new to copywriting, the whole ordeal seems very overwhelming. It all seems very difficult and very, very challenging. Don't worry so much about it. The whole point of this is to not only learn how to get words on the page, but also learn how to speak in the register and the language of copy as well. So as long as you're doing something, a little bit of something every single day, you're making good progress. And I would recommend writing at least a page per day of copy if you are a newbie, and then just use that as like your daily routine. This is what you do. This is how you practice. And using the 4 techniques and methods for practicing that we've introduced to you in this video, that will give you ample material that you can use to practice during that 1 page per day ordeal that you are putting yourself through. Now, again, if you want a list of 20 prompts, well, we put it together for you. That is available in the description. And of course, if you want more advice on how to become a better copywriter, we have a good video for you that is superimposed over my face at this particular point in time.